Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Curtis Reacts. Today we're doing Curtis Reacts to Facts. Speaking of what I just did right there, this is a rap song by Tom MacDonald featuring Ben Shapiro. If you don't know who Ben Shapiro is, he's not a rapper. And I think people would probably say he's the opposite of a rapper. I guess that's part of the draw with this song. So Ben Shapiro is like a political commentator who's pretty straight-laced, doesn't seem like a rapper, and here he is rapping on that. I guess that's part of why this is getting a ton of views. It came out like a few days ago and it almost has 10 million views. Why is the human race into it? I'm gonna be looking at this from a Swedenborgian perspective, which is, I know this is gonna be a culture war thing. I know that's what Ben Shapiro does. I think that's what Tom MacDonald does. Culture wars, at first I was like, I don't want to get involved with that, but actually I do. Culture wars are about what's good versus what's evil and what people think about that, and what's true versus what's false and what people think about that. So why are these 10 million human beings looking at this? What are they getting out of it? And how can I make this whole situation worse? It seems like everybody is stressed about how to navigate culture wars. The world seems so crazy. Everyone seems so divided. Let's see if we can find out a way we can navigate what's going on. Maybe this reaction will help us. All right, let's go. I got the lyrics here, so don't worry. I'll know what they're saying.
They call me offensive, controversial. There's only two genders, boys and girls. They can't cancel my message because I'm the biggest independent rapper in the whole freaking world. Claim that I'm racist, yeah, alright. I'm not ashamed because I'm white. If every Caucasian's a bigot, I guess every Muslim's a terrorist. Every liberal is right.
Okay, yep. It's culture wars. What hot button issues did we touch on there? Gender, race, white, terrorist, like everything. All right, so that's fine. I'll listen to what you have to say. So you're saying that there's only two genders, okay? People are saying you're racist. Are you racist? Are you saying, okay, I'm not ashamed because I'm white? Sounds like I'm like, woof, let's get out of here. This is too crazy. He's talking about stereotypes. And I guess what he's getting at is how I would express the sentiment that he's expressing there is we are not to pass spiritual judgment on each other. Meaning, you can absolutely address somebody's behavior. If you say, you shouldn't be doing this thing because that's harmful to society, and even, I'm gonna try to stop you doing that thing. But what we can't do is claim that we know somebody's heart. Like, I know your motives. So if he's saying, you can't say that I'm a bigot, or you can't say that this Muslim person is a terrorist, because you don't know what's in their heart.
I don't wanna talk to folks who don't get it. Go woke, go broke, no hope, it's pathetic. Pro-choice, pronouns, pro-love, you're progressive. But you ain't pro-gun, no one to protect it. Where the American flags at? Remember when people would hang those? They've been taken down, they all been replaced with BLM flags or a rainbow.
I don't want to talk to folks who don't get it. Well, you're talking to everybody now. Everybody's watching this song. Okay, then this gets really culture war hot button, as if we haven't brought those up before. Pro-choice, pronouns, okay, pro-gun, American flags. All right. You guys figure that out. We're arguing over what's good and what's evil. Which one is good? Is the American flag good? Are these other flags good? What's true? Are these issues like they're zero sum? Can human beings disagree on these and yet live side by side? I guess that's what we're finding out. I know that Swedenborg, and if you are not familiar, Swedenborg is like my favorite philosopher / theological thinker. This is how I navigate everything, as I look through the lens that I found from picking out his stuff. And he says that, for example, within religion, if you're focused on the life of you're trying to do what's good, you allow for disagreements. That person, I'm not as interested, I don't care as much what you believe, I care whether you believe that you're doing the right thing, or whether you're trying to do what's good. Because you might be acting in the opposite way that I would act, but you're doing it from a good motive. Okay, but I wonder, I don't know if with these issues, which ones of these is like, yeah, we can get along even if we're opposite on this, and which ones aren't. This whole song is like a pretty inflammatory tone. I don't know if you need to have that. I'm trying not to be a grumpy old man, because I think I'm old compared to these guys. I don't know how old Ben Shapiro is. I haven't seen Ben Shapiro in this, but I think I'm old compared to Tom MacDonald. I'm not trying to be a grumpy old man about this, but sometimes I am going to be like, okay, come on, you guys, just be polite. What are you gonna...
Same rap, this ain't money, cars and clothes. We ain't selling drugs, we ain't gonna overdose. We ain't pushing guns, ain't promoting stripper poles. We won't turn your sons into thugs or your daughters into hoes.
Okay. Now, I think I understand the main point of the song now. First, I want to say, he's got a shirt that says, I don't care if I offend you on it. He must not have known that I would be watching this video. Because Of course he would care if he offended me. Okay, I don't care if I offend you. Actually, that's part of the main point of the song. So this chorus is like, yes, people aren't going to like some of the messaging that I put in here. Maybe I'm doing some things that you consider bad, but I'm not doing these other things that I think are bad. Selling drugs, pushing guns. Although didn't he just say, wasn't he talking about being pro-gun before? But he's saying we're not, I guess in our rap, we're not advocating to shoot your enemies. We're not promoting stripper poles. Okay, so he's saying it's okay for me to be saying these things you might find offensive because that's not as bad as what I guess he's saying the rest of mainstream music is doing, which is promoting the other things. So this is why this is interesting. As Swedenborg would put it, what is the evil that is sinful? Yeah, there can be things that are not ideal, but it's not that bad. What's really bad and what's really good? He's saying, look, being offensive like this is fine if I'm not convincing people to live an evil life. I don't know. When I was finding this video, it was on the page of YouTube trending. There were some other music videos that I was looking at, and it's true. I didn't want to react to this because just the title and the thumbnail, it was so much, particularly just sexually charged stuff that I was like, I'm not going to put my viewers through that, although I'm putting you all through this now. I guess he's saying, look, I'm not doing the promiscuity, adultery kind of stuff. I'm doing this other stuff instead. I don't know. Let's see what Ben Shapiro says. I don't know. I can't tell if he's out of his element or not, but he's standing there. What voice is he going to use? Sorry, right before, there's been more content here that I gotta respond to. Sorry, Ben Shapiro. I don't care if I offend you. I mean, okay, this is me, old man. You should care if you offend someone. You should care. You don't want to just thoughtlessly harm people. If you want to say, look, the state of the world is such where I have to say something that you might not like because I think ultimately this thing is for the good of the human race, I'll give Tom MacDonald the benefit of the doubt that he thinks that what he's saying is important and actually will lead to a better society for people. You could make that choice and say, I'm going to say this even though it's offensive because ultimately I think it's going to be okay for you. But you shouldn't not care. You should look at me like everyone came here for me to moralize about this. You shouldn't not care. So again, Swedenborg describes what it is to have charity when you're in a conflict. You can, if you're in a conflict with somebody, push back with them, you can set boundaries, you can even take legal action, do whatever you need to do to defend yourself. But you need to do that with the intent of, I'm not trying to destroy this person. I'm trying ultimately, once we get past this, we can be friends. I'm ultimately not discarding my care for their long-term welfare. Tom MacDonald might be doing what I'm saying, but I'm saying we need to care that we offend each other, but that doesn't mean we won't ever do it. Am I splitting hairs? Whoosh.
Let's look at the stats. I've got the facts. My money like Lizzo, my pockets are fat. Homie, I'm epic. Don't be a wap. Dog, it's a yarmulke. Homie, no cap. Look at the graphs. Look at my charts. You're blowing money on strippers and cars. You going to prison. I'm on television. Dogs, no one knows who you are. Keep hating on me on the internet. My comment section all woke Karens. And I make racks off compound interest. Y'all live with your parents. Nikki, take some notes. I just did this for fun. All my people download this. Let's get a Billboard #1.
Just musically, it could have been worse. His rapping voice, it wasn't that bad. Good on him for stepping out of his medium. It was kind of mean. I don't know. Listen, I'm old. I'm not going to get all these references. He's like talking about these other rappers. I guess that's just what rappers do. They insult each other. However, if I were to get back on my soapbox, I don't know if rappers should just insult each other for the sake of insulting each other. I know it drives up views and it's like just been part of the culture forever, but everybody pays attention to that. All the kids are listening to it. And sure, when you're doing a video like this, let's see, Lizzo, Nicki Minaj, those people, I mean, they probably get business from this. Like, he insults them and they get, I don't know if they would come back or if this signifies something that's worth coming back to. But, that's a way that you can build up your business. But when it's just like the kids that listen to you and they all emulate you down on the ground floor and they're insulting each other, nobody gets anything from that. So, hey, man. It's the role model thing. It's there whether you like it or not. He's just kind of saying, you're insulting me, so I'm going to insult you back. I'm richer than you are. I'm more successful. Yeah. Also, my comment section is all woke Karens. My mom's name is not quite Karen, but it's almost Karen. Can we not use that as an insult? Think about if somebody has that name. What if everybody started calling people who were sermonizing, complaining about Curtises? Like, stop being a Curtis. I guess actually that would be kind of fun. I know, and I know plenty of people don't like Ben Shapiro at all and are like, he's making the world worse. He's doing things that are harmful. I just can't help it. I just see like this guy like, oh, I hope he does okay because he's trying to rap and he's not used to rapping. And it's like, a part of me is like, okay, fine. He did that insulting stuff, which I'm not crazy about, but he just did it because he's not used to rapping. And I don't know, maybe I'm just like naively, maybe I need to set some more boundaries. But anyway, okay, let's see what Tom says now. Is what would Ben do? Is that a play on what would Jesus do? Is that what that is? If so, don't do that. Don't bring the Lord God, Jesus Christ into this stuff. Probably not. I probably have no idea what any of these references are. This is probably all references to stuff I don't understand.
Let's just keep it real facts. Don't care how you feel, man. If you want my pronouns, I'm the man. I'm the man who don't respect you.
Facts don't care how you feel. I would say it's the other way. How you feel doesn't care about facts. The will always gets the intellect to do what it wants. This is, again, an insight from Swedenborg. Nobody is coming at this culture war thing, or really any other issue, from some totally detached, non-emotional place. That's not how we're built as human beings. We always are engaging in something because we want something out of it. So I don't think, in this particular case, the political left or the political right, nobody's just like, I'm just here speaking the truth. Everybody's got an agenda. And that can be a good or a bad thing. I think what we want to try to sort out, rather than get all hung up on these hot button issues, is whose agenda. There's really only two camps, and it's not left and right, actually. Even though you can, on a surface level, sort people into that, the actual division, do you want to know what it is which of us are coming from a love for the welfare of the human race? Meaning, you're doing, and you're saying what you're saying, you're believing what you believe, because you think it will make life better for everyone. Not just your group, but everyone. And who is coming from a fundamentally self-centered place, which is like, I only care about me, or by extension, the group that is somehow similar to me or I've adopted as my own, and I don't care what happens to the rest. That's the two groups. That's what we got to try to look for. That's the real culture war. It's like, who's in it for the good of all, which is, I believe that's God is in it for the good of all, and then who's in it just for selfishness. And I'm not saying, we all go through phases and we all have evolution. Like, we may have used to been the self-centered people that we used to be, and now we're trying to be a little more altruistic. We may backslide, but that's the actual battle. I guess I get a little sad that people are so wrapped up in left versus right, and I get it. The issues can't go away. It's serious, and it affects how you live. You can't just just don't care about it because it's just incompatible. But I wish we could do that, understanding that really it's everybody who's it's really God versus evil and falsity. And that plays out in human beings through when we're motivated by a love of the human race. That's we're aligned with the divine. I know you didn't come here for this church stuff, but you're already here. You can't click away. No, I disabled your mouse. God is love for the whole human race. The opposite of that is love for yourself and your group alone. So, which side are you on? And can we all just at least be trying to get to where we're trying to do what's right? That doesn't mean there doesn't need to be hard truths and people don't need to be offended sometimes and confronted, but ultimately, that's the real division. Feelings are always driving something. Can they be the right feelings?
You mad, you mad, you mad. I guess it's cool to be the victim, well, I'ma be the man. You sad, you sad, you sad. You just try to get attention, being triggered's all you have. You mad, you mad, you mad. You blame everybody else for every problem that you can. You sad, you sad, you sad. I will never say I'm sorry, I ain't taking nothing back.
I think, one more time, back with me doing this is holding my cane. I think that you should say you're sorry. I'm not saying now, but at the end, once we finally get past this stuff, in time as a human race, I think there's a life after death. That's what I think. And I think when people go there, they can reconcile better. But ultimately, yeah, we should be saying sorry to each other. I get that right now there's a conflict and people can't just give ground if they believe it's important, but we should be looking to, ultimately, I am going to say I'm sorry. I understand what this is saying. I think it's coming from a place on Tom MacDonald's part of, I don't feel like I'm allowed to say what my deeply held convictions are. That if I do, you guys are going to try to cancel me and do all that. And maybe that's driving some of the fire and bristliness of what he's doing here. I do think this goes a little farther than I don't know if this makes the conversation better or not. You tell me in the comments. I guess 10 million people are watching this. It's going to be a lot more soon. Does this make the conversation better or not? I get it. You're trying to create dialogue. We need dialogue. I do think once dialogue, because you can see it in between two people. Once they're not talking anymore, stuff gets bad. And I guess if you got these two sides and they're not talking and you can't say what you really feel, stuff gets bad. We could probably say it a little more friendly way, but you know, okay, thanks guys. That's my reaction. All right, I guess I gotta wait till these guys diss me in their next rap video, and then I'll come back with my next one. Okay, all right. See ya.